either side of the aircraft. Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead and utilize the next available space. If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack,
operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Under the seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check your final destination. Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. So we'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta.
Delta. Delta.
Delta Airlines.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry-in baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, oxygen masks will drop from the panels above your seat and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case. Life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lab children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table, footrest, and leg rest. Be sure you fastened your seatbelt low and tight across your lap, carry-on items secured, and armrests are at resting position, or as otherwise indicated on the placard in front of you. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
Bob.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude, we'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you and a welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. We've now reached an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it'll be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh meat items and all-day games. Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You will find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
this Toliss is my favorite. Right. I do like this. I didn't change that in time. I just realized I still have the not my favorite. That was for the flight factor, not for the Toliss. This one's operating optimally. This is the latest version. Yeah. So, yeah, it is my favorite. This isn't a not my favorite. This is from their earlier flight factor. So this is the A320neo that just came out by Toliss not too long ago, and this is just a brand new review. But I'm already seeing. I can say about it, it's very similar to all of the rest of the Toliss aircraft, but I like all the rest of them, the A330 and the A321. Let's see what. Let's see, it has a bug start engines, and I have not experienced that with this one. It started, everything worked just like it normally would if I was in the A321neo. But engine starts, anything, AQ bleed, everything was fine. They must have come up with an answer, a patch or something. I will say this, it's between this and the A321, the only difference is the size of the aircraft. CB, how long ago how long ago was there a bug? Was that just like recent? So that's is it Magnite? That's a good question. It's been about a year and a half ago that I entered Xplane World and started flying on the Xplane 12. I started out with a Z-boat, and I've always been like a 737 fanatic. I've always loved the aircraft. So my cursory knowledge of all of it was pretty good, but when I started flying it, it was horrendous the first 1 month, 2 months. I crashed more than I flew in many cases, and it was a matter of sticking to one aircraft and just learning it and continuing to use guys like Q8 Pilot, etc. For your your supplemental knowledge. Yeah, and it took a while. I mean, it was not overnight, and yes, it was frustrating some nights or some days flying, but over a period of time, I'm telling you, if you stick to it, stick to the checklist, and the tutorials. A lot of guys have some really good tutorials. Then eventually it just clicks. Especially if you don't come from pilot's background. And click. Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit, and it could be my microphone is not loud enough. Let me see. I'm going to cut back some of this. See. Normally, if I'm by myself, I have this up a little bit louder. It's true, but see if let me know if that's not better, CV, and you may be onto something that'll help. Y'all hear better now? Let me know if that sounds clearer to you, and because my microphone, I think the headset is up as high as it can go, but see if that helped the some of the environmental sounds. I'll just cut them back, see if it's better for you. So Magnite, that better? What? Great, man. Thanks for the input there on that. The setups, there are certain people that I trust on YouTube to help. Got it, Flight Quest? Yeah. So there's certain people I trust. Q8 Pilot, the Flying Scotsman, some of the guys when you're just looking for good tutorials on particular aircraft and setups, and so they have a lot of good information and on setups, specific aircraft. And then also what you're going to find on YouTube is there are certain guys who are like particular aircrafts they're just better at because they spend more time with it, and you learn who you can trust and who you can't. So it's just it's a lot of trial and error. It's not like just a regimented school that you can go to as much with this, but it's but the biggest thing I tell people is when you're talking about setups is don't splatter yourself with like 8 different aircraft. Focus on one and get good at it, and then kind of build your toolbox that way. Don't just like be all over the map, or all it leads to is frustration. If that makes sense. By the way, I need to pay attention because this goes fast. We're only flying from Atlanta to Charlotte. Let me see where we are. We're already at cruise altitude. It's just like this thing so efficient. See Cup. We're going to be beginning our descent after Cup. I tell you, one of the maybe y'all could probably speak to this too. One of the hardest things though is as you're able to get off the ground, you're able to get to cruise altitude. It's learning how to descend. That's a whole art in itself, and you'll spend a lot of time on that side too. So there's just like different places or different steps you'll take to know how to set things up, and but the biggest thing I'd say is take one aircraft at a time and spend time with it. Don't keep jumping around or you'll get frustrated. Okay, I'm going to cut my altitude back here to 4,000 as we get ready for top of descent, because McDo will help manage me down. Oh man, I would say that's true. CV, the Toliss aircraft are truly user friendly, and honestly, I think in real life they're a much easier aircraft to fly because of the fly-by-wire and a lot of the automation. But it's just a really it's a much like smoother aircraft to fly, I love Boeing though. I'm a big Boeing fan, but it's different. You've got it. A lot of the stuff you have to manually do. On this, my cost index on this flight is 2727. So this flight here, that's what SimBrief actually gave me, or Delta gave me on Delta Virtual. All right, we're about 26 miles out. 116 miles out, so we're not far out. Yeah, it's kind of a surprise, but yeah, they gave me, and by the way, no two airlines really calculate the cost index the same. You'll find that. Great. Thanks for the input on the headset. I may start leaving my volume on the environment back so everyone else can hear. All right, we're about 16 miles out from top of descent. And by the way, I'm not using say Intentions on this particular flight, but we have Delta Virtual. If you hear the aircraft, you hear the flight attendant. It's Delta Virtual. I am not, and let me go ahead and qualify this. I'm not a real pilot. I'm not a, and that goes general aviation or commercial. I have just been a disciple of the 737-200 all the way up to 800 for almost 35 years. I've studied that aircraft. So, and I've always been a commercial aviation, just a buff. It's just been something I've always been interested in. So I read everything I get my hands on. I started a little late. I was a little late on the curve to get my commercial aviation, or my commercial airline pilot's certificate. I was a little late to the game, and I've spent most of my time in law enforcement, and I'm a pastor now actually. So, but I spent the majority of my career in law enforcement. We're starting descent, by the way. Xplane 12 has given me an avenue to enjoy, being able to fly, and to scratch an itch for me. So I think it's been a real blessing, because it's given me a way to actually fly, especially if you really work at it and get on one of the commercial circuits. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, but it also kind of scratches an itch if you like aviation. But I'm not actually a pilot. Favorite route, I think, would have to be.
Attendants, please prepare the cab for arrival.
Let's see if she's not going to be too loud.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent.
1 second.
At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. And kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
She always puts me under that pressure of 15 to 20 minutes. We're not going to be landing in 15 or 20 minutes. Wish she'd stop doing that. There are what you're talking about, Magnite. Yeah, there are a lot of variables there. With Xplane, with Xplane 12 in particular, I have a subscription. I think I went the subscription route with SimBrief, and which gives me Navigraph and all the tools that go along with that, including updating your air rack. Some of the best resources I have. Now, some people have different preferences. That's just what I use, but I've just used SimBrief. Yeah, but the waypoints, all of that, if it boils down to if you're using something like SimBrief, there are other versions, and you're updating your AirRack, which is the latest information, waypoint information. Usually that's not an issue. And then the individual aircraft that you fly are part of that too. We're doing ILS. We're actually going in on ILS. We'll be coming in on a brain fart there for a minute. We're coming out on runway 18 left on we're coming out on the Jones 5 arrival, and we will have a transition because we're going to have to go to the other side of the airport to set it for 18 left. This is a nice airport too. Charlotte, I've spent a lot of time at Charlotte. I used to work literally a rock's throw from it, and it's a beautiful airport. And it's a custom airport too. What we're actually using today's custom. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and set our QNH. Here, I'll probably knock off my altimeter a little early so I can put in QNH, but it's 2991. Okay. And I'm going to leave that. I'm at 22,000 already, so we're 18,000 is actually a transition. Okay. Because it's an Airbus, I don't have to worry about my landing elevation, even though the airport that we're flying into is at an elevation of 748 feet. And where I'm rattling off of all this is straight out of SimBrief or Navigraph. On this particular flight, we're not flying with real-world weather, and I very rarely do I not fly with real-world weather. But someone yesterday was asking me if I ever fly in the daytime. So we're in the daytime. So I've had to go, and I altered time on this particular flight. I normally don't do that though. And this will be, but this is my inaugural flight on this A320neo. I usually I have the A321 and 330, but this is the first time on this one. Probably about 2 a day. 2 a day, different distances, but maybe 2 a day. I will. I actually fly on a virtual airline, and I'm stationed out of Europe, but I fly a lot on the East Coast, on this side here. The longer flight is from Denver to Charles de Gaulle in Paris, in France. Flight Quest? Oh man, no, I didn't get the sunglasses, man. I'm going to be needing them though now periodically though. Yes, it's finally daytime. Right. Right. Let me check my. Let me make sure I've got everything set up like I need here. Okay, so we're currently on Jones, descending on Jones. We're at 19,000 at the moment, and a second here, I'm running through this. Our distance outside of Charlotte is 55 nautical miles, and we'll actually be passing by the airport it'll be on our right as we come back for transition onto 18. I think we've already done this. Let's see. I don't know why it's asking this. 18 left. I shouldn't have to do this again, but double checking. Unless something happened a minute ago, I think let's see, got banker in there and central. Okay. And let's take, I'm gonna remove that discontinuity. It's not important. So wait, it's not letting me remove that. Hold on, let me see. Top of descent there. Let me try that again. Okay, that's peculiar. Let me see. So I don't have a manual above that flight plan discontinuity, but it will not let me remove it. Let me see. We'll try it one more time. I'm not worried about that. We can work around it. We'll probably just, after we're through with fill, we go straight to direct and we're fine. Okay. So I can go direct to central. Let me see here. Right, there's Jones. Cabby. Cover, Jones, Central. There's Wiley. There's a story behind that Wiley, the Wiley waypoint here, because it's actually named after a guy that I knew from my church. Okay. Let me see here. Cup. Let me back out of this for a minute. So we're coming in on 18 left. That's okay already. Maybe I don't need to do that after all. Let me see here. 18 left. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm not going to change that. Okay. Okay, I'm reading that CV. So let's see here. Honestly, I think FlightQuest, I think you're the beach. You're my beach guy. I am starting to fly more of a couple of the Beechcraft series. One in particular, I just started. It's one of the default ones that's built into Xplane, and it looked like the FMS was very similar to what I'm used to using. So over time, I'll figure it out. Yeah, the biggest thing if you're just getting started on Xplane 12 is just patience, because you're going to have some frustrating nights. Because you're going to crash. you're going to crash a lot initially, and then little by little you kind of get in the flow. The beauty of flight simming is that you can walk away. You can get up and go get coffee. I think, I don't know, McKnight, the 737 I have a preference to, because I've studied it for so long, read and just always been a fan of the 737. But it's just a matter of which one I feel like flying at the time. The 737, you have a lot more that you have to do on a flight. Like for instance, you have to adjust your landing your elevations, there's a lot of things you have to do manually, and it kind of keeps you on your toes. And on the A320, it does a lot for you. Yeah, range 10. Range 10. Range 10. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I'm a little early on this, but I'm going to go ahead and pop up our landing lights. And we're getting close to 10,000. 10,000. We need to be at 250 and landing lights on. Our ground spoiler is armed there. And I know I'm early on that, but I do not anticipate needing my air brakes. And our auto brake is on medium. We're going to go over here to our landing performance and tell it our brake mode's going to be at medium. Conditions are dry in this particular scenario, and let me get my and we'll put this in our performance information. Our approach will be a QNH of 30. 29 or 9 or 1. I'm sorry, 29 or 9 or 1. Okay. 29.91. We're coming in at a temp of 14. And winds are from 208 knots. There we go. And so our performance information's loaded. We're good there. Okay. Y'all have to excuse me. I'm going back and forth reading and going back. Yeah. Oh, would you get tied up today? Yeah, I'm curious. I am. I'll actually watch the Yosemite. I will. Yeah, yeah. Better watch out. Hang out with a preacher, you'll get a bad reputation. Okay. Check my map here. Navigraph. Okay, so we just made our left turn. What we're basically on right now, we're on our downwind. We're on our downwind, and we're about to pass by the airport. And there is Charlotte Douglas. That looks pretty good. Sky, everything looks really good. Okay. All right. All right, we're at 9,000. We're currently at 220. I'm going to flaps 1. Pull this out so y'all can see it. So I'm at flaps 1. And I'm going to go ahead and initiate. Actually, did it already do it for me? Yeah, I think it already initiated my approach phase for me. So, yeah, it did. Normally, you have to initiate it, but on this particular flight, for whatever reason, we don't. There's a couple of reasons that may have happened. When I was loading the flight plan from SimBrief, I had just downloaded the aircraft, and there's a chance that I just manually entered the numbers or the flight plan, so it may there may be a couple of waypoints that aren't in there. Nothing that it would hurt, because it was only 229 miles to Charlotte from Atlanta, so shouldn't hurt anything. All right. It's busting at me. I'm fixing it. I overspeeded there. I went ahead and I'm using air brake to slow down a little bit there. Check that. I check our speeds right now. It should be slowing down. Okay. Alright, it is. I probably went to flaps 1 a hair early. Alright, our next waypoint is QED. Alright, I gotta do some pilot stuff here. Hold on. Y'all hang tight, guys. Going off script here. One of my waypoints, something didn't go right, so I'm going back to a heading of 360 and repositioning myself for approach. It tried to turn me to QED as a waypoint. That was way too close to the airport to get set up for a stable approach. So kind of doing my own version of a go around here. Normally, what would happen in this scenario is that we'd be vectored into position, and that turn to QED really didn't give me time to get set up on or lined up with the runway. It was too close. I think we'll get through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm back on a 360 course. I'm going to go about 6 miles north, and then come back and do a direct to QED, and that will set me up for my approach. I'm currently at 4,000 feet, which is fine. That's plenty of plenty of altitude right now. So that will put us in the right place. So I hate to admit it, but the reason that we had a bad first approach is because I needed ATC. Because I really needed ATC on that to vector me, to direct me or vector me. So it would have made for an easier approach. So, okay. Oh, the alert on the ECAM is the ground spoilers, my ground spoilers, which need to be going back in. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. And so now I've got my ground spoiler armed, and we're at flaps 2 right now. That's a good call. Thank you. You know what they call that in real life? That's called, was it task saturation? Got too many things going on at one time. Okay. Now, we're going to go back and do a direct to QWED. And this will help set us up for our approach. If you've ever flown into Charlotte, it really is like this. You see water everywhere. A lot of little lakes all over the place here. Right. Alright, so we're not far from QWED. We're 7.4 miles from QWED, which is our waypoint that sets us up for approach. Should be okay. And I'm at flaps 3. Actually full flaps now. We're at full flaps. We're 12 miles out right now. Okay, we're right at 10 miles out. We're going to drop gear. And we're on stable approach now. Ground spoilers are armed. Auto brake is set to medium. Flaps are full. I'm having to chase the localizer, which, you know, you normally don't want to do that, but
2,500.
should capture it here. All right, looking good.
2,000.
So, will we capture it? It'd be nice. It'd be nice to have a good co-pilot. We're still chasing. Right now, we are kind of below. We're behind the 8-ball on capturing the glides, but I think we are. We're about to capture it here. We're only we're almost done. Now we're at an elevation here of 700, something like 740 feet. I think I'm about to capture here.
1,000.
There we go. There we go. Got it. Yeah, I'll take it back in a minute anyway. So. I got lucky. Luck counts. It looks like I have captured. So I'm on the glide. So I'm captured. By the way, this airport here is really interesting. So
500.
485 bypass is to my, I think, my right side over here.
400. 300.
Okay.
One 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 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 10. Retard. 5. Retard. Retard. Retard.
Front nose is down and reversers. Reversers are off.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the captain has parked the aircraft at the gate and turned off the seatbelt sign. This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during landing. You may now use your mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices while we taxi to the gate. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain stowed.
Welcome to Charlotte.
We invite you to visit delta.com for all your future travel needs, including checking in for a flight and managing your SkyMiles account. If any of you should have questions regarding ground transportation, baggage claim, or any other information, a uniformed Delta agent meeting this flight will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. On behalf of Delta Sky Team, our global partners, and flight crew, we'd like to thank you all for flying with us. We've enjoyed having you on board, and look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening.
Great. I'm going to get
Flight
over to
attendants,
the
prepare
gate
doors for arrival,
and I'll
please.
do a
Cross-check and all
replay.
call.
I'll tell you this feels a lot better than the Flight Factor A320 Ultimate. I think it's the extended Really don't like that one. It really has a really hard landing. But it just, the balance on it, just something doesn't feel right. Yeah. Let's go find come on, where are my Delta planes? This is a Charlotte. The Charlotte Douglas is a custom airport, and I cannot tell you how close to the real airport they got it. It really does look like this. It's nice. Let's go for external power and chocks. Brake is on. We'll initiate external power. And after external power is on, we'll bring down the fuel pump. Fuel's down. Okay. They really have, yeah. In fact, I'll show you. I would like to show y'all one of the places here before we get out of here. Right. Let's see. Closing out my A cars here. What was our landing? Pitch landing. Wasn't a great landing. I think 354, maybe had 354 feet per minute. Okay, let's get outside for a minute. I was going to show you the inside of this airport. This is this is a Nimbus airport. But they really went to the trouble to make it nice. So if you go inside of the main area, it looks just like Charlotte Airport. So they did a good job with that. All right. Let's see how it does on replays. The Flight Factor A320 doesn't do too well. And let's see if I can get into a replay here. Okay. All right, we can. Good, yeah. Awesome. But yeah, even the way the color and the saturation in the modeling they did a good job. Okay, so all right, very good. That front nose down. There we go. All right. Yeah, but if you're looking for a good custom airport, though, I think, but this is Charlotte's one of my favorites. Atlanta, and DC's got Thai Models, who does the one for DC, DCA, and they did a really good job on that. Right. All right. Hey, I hope everybody has a good night. I always learn something from doing this with a bunch of pilots. No pressure. No pressure at all. But we'll have to do it again. I am going to try to do a few more flights with this one, but I'll probably go back to May 175 a little too, my more regional jet here. Right. Hey, stay tuned. For anybody that's just trying to learn a little bit more about Xplane, I will try to do some more tutorials on some of the more basic things that may help kind of get you started if you just want to know how to get kick started. But look for those coming out soon. But I hope everybody has a good night. All right. Keep climbing, and I'll see everybody on the next flight.